Alright, Blackbird Part 2, we got cut off. Last thing I think we did on the end of the other video was go from the C, C sharp, D, D sharp. You ended up with this little chromatic line here going C to C sharp, D to D sharp. Notice how finger 1 is on the C, then finger 2 is on the C sharp, then finger 1 is on the D, then finger 2 is on the D sharp, and then finger 1 is on the E. So I ended up going up 5 half steps there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 4 half steps, I guess, from the C. Anyway, that's all in video 1 if you missed that. But then we got to E minor here, which is also, I believe, in video 1. But this is where we'll start for here. So first finger is on the 7th fret of your A string, and pinky or third finger, whichever you prefer, is on the 8th fret of your B string. Then we're going to back the first finger up 1 half step. It's going to now turn it into an E flat chord, basically. E flat and a G anyway. I guess we don't have the 5th, but that's what's kind of implied. And we get to play the pattern. Again, if you remember the pattern, it was thumb and middle on 5 and 2, and then index to middle, thumb, middle, index. So together, index, middle, thumb, middle, index. And again, that's all in lesson 1 if you've lost that. Okay, so we're going from our E minor, E flat, back a half step here to D, so we're in 5th position. It's our D on the 5th fret of our A string and F sharp on the 7th fret of our B string, our 2nd string. Again, that open G, just the 5 and 2 to the open G, right? Thumb and middle to the index on G. To C sharp, basically it's giving us a diminished sound. That's the same one we played in the part earlier. So you got your 2nd finger on the 4th fret of your A string for a C sharp, and first finger comes down to your 1st string, 3rd fret for a G. And that also means your ring finger in your right hand is now playing. So thumb and ring, index plays G again like before. And then C chord that we played before. And we get to play the pattern here. Then we're going to drop this E back a half step to E flat. So again, if you're using finger 3, you might want to drop it back to 2 or slide it back. If you use 4, you can drop to 3 or slide it, whichever you prefer. So we're going from C to C minor. Same pattern. We're going to back the whole thing up a half step for a B minor. Sort of. It's not exactly a B minor because we're hearing that G string open. It's making it more sound like a G chord, but whichever we want to call it. So from our C, the B, then A7. So we're just going to bring our our 2nd finger, or 1st, doesn't really matter what finger I guess, but 2nd fret of your B string. Same pattern. So thumb is still on 5, right? Middle is still on 2, thumb, index, middle, thumb, middle, index. Then your 1st finger will play the 1st fret of your 2nd string for a D7, but our thumb will now come down to the 4th string. We'll play 4 and 2 together, index, middle, thumb, middle, index. So basically the same thing, just thumb went from 5 to 4. And then G, the way we started the tune, the very beginning of the tune. So 3rd fret of your low G string and the open B, and you'll play the pattern here. And that ends up being the entire verse. So we're going from G, A, B, 10th fret there for that G. Here's our C, C sharp, D, E minor, back that 1st finger up, E flat, D, C sharp, C, C minor, back it all up a half step, A7 basically, D7, your thumb came to the 4th string. That's the blackbird singing in the dead of night. Woohoo! Yeah, take these broken wings, learn to fly, fly. Anyway, I sang it on one of the other videos. Tried to sing it seriously. Tried. Okay, and that's the whole verse. And then the chorus, quite quickly, is going to start on an F chord. Basically, we're going to go to the 8th position, 1st finger on the 8th fret, pinky on the 10th fret. And we're going to go just the 5 and 2 together, middle and thumb to index, back to the E minor, so 7 and 8, right, of 5 and 2, the strings, to D minor, sorry, so we're going F, E minor, D minor, C, B flat, we'll play the pattern, back to C, play the pattern, repeat, so the F and 8th, back to the E minor, D minor, C, B flat, and then back to that A7 that we played before, D7, G. And that's our chorus. That's the Blackbird flies, Blackbird flies into the light, the dark black night. Whoa! Anyway, yeah, and then so if you watch the other video I did all the way through, you can get the idea for the form. There's a couple funny things, but anyway, hope that helps you. Have fun.